This is the 21st season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good morning and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk about bass fishing. Lots of stuff going on in the bass fishing world as we kind of prepare for the 2025 holiday season. A lot of deals coming up. Black Friday deals at a show with Dave Rush from Best on Tour yesterday. I was supposed to be live at the standard time. I had a couple people that said, hey, I missed the memo. It wasn't live. I actually, in this wild weather that we've been having in November, kind of across this neck of the woods. Oh, would you consider Texas the South, the Southeast? It's not like the deep South, but that core between like Fort Worth, Texas, where my wife lives for the next month, and then I'm down there, and then she's up here until we get things right. Anyway, big line of storms, so we didn't do it live show until like 11 yesterday, but kind of went through a lot of the Black Friday deals that were going on, and then briefly touched on some interesting press releases that came down in the Best on Tour this week. I wanted to dive a little bit into that, and then we're going to be joined by Chase Hull from Omnia Fishing. Some changes at Omnia Fishing. It seems like some good changes. He's going to come on, talk a little bit about what that means, and then I know the BTL listeners have been very loyal to Omnia over the last 4 years. Really appreciated the partnership that we've had with them. Located up there in Minnesota. I've been in studio, in shop, in warehouse for Omnia a number of different times as they navigate the very difficult world of online commerce and fishing apps. So we'll talk to Chase about all the things that are going on with Omnia and how you guys can benefit through that during this holiday season. But I do want to talk about this first. So press release comes down yesterday. NPFL 2026 field is full, but there's still room for a few more, which is like, hey, there's a full field, but we're still accepting applications. We had Brad Fuller on last month as part of the trio of captains, presidents, all-knowing czars, whatever you want to call them, owners. We had Chase Anderson from Bass, Duckett from MLF, and Brad Fuller from the NPFL, who talked about some very exciting things that were coming as far as kind of format and field for the 2026 season of the NPFL. And I ran some numbers. I spent some time this morning sipping on my coffee and looking at some of the names that are signed up for all 6 of the NPFL events, 130 anglers, 6 event field, obviously no forward facing sonar, which when that happened, Brad admitted, he said, hey, we needed to do something to separate ourselves. We're trying to figure out how to fit in this very changing but small climate of professional bass fishing. I think kind of looking back on it, 13 months, 14 months after that announcement, it's served them well to provide a platform for a lot of anglers. So out of the 130 that have been confirmed for the NPFL in 2026, I went through, I might be off by 1 or 2, but I did my best. I made a list. I checked it twice. 48 current or former Elite Series or BPT pros in the 2026 NPFL field. If you remember 5 years ago when the NPFL started and it came out, there were not that many familiar names unless you were really into the regional, the Toyota Series level, some of the Bassmaster Opens levels. We're hearing a lot about guys who are coming out of kind of their local or regional area who are kicking butt in that, and they're like, hey, they're going to take this next step to the NPFL. You had your John Sokups, the names, Watkins and Perkins and things like that. You really got to kind of know those guys through it, but it's interesting how this is kind of morphed to an interesting, eclectic group of very accomplished anglers. The field has 3 Bassmaster Classic champions in it for a total. I mean, we're 55, 60 Bassmaster Classics in, and there's 7 Bassmaster Classics accounted for in the NPFL field this year. You've got Hank Cherry, who won the back-to-back. Luke Clausen is fishing in the NPFL. You got Rick Clunn, who retired from the Elite Series 2 years ago, fished the Bassmaster Opens last year, and is back kind of, I guess, on a tour level fishing the NPFL with the 4 Bassmaster Classic titles under it. Over on the MLF or FLW side, you have Greg Hackney, you have Scott Suggs, Randall Tharp, John Cox, all guys who have won championships at the MLF or FLW level. And like I said, 48 former or current Elite Series or BPT pros that are in there. Obviously, one of the most notable ones outside of Rick Clunn, Andy Morgan. Andy Morgan will be interesting to see him fishing on the NPFL. Then you got Matt Herron back in it, Greg Hackney, one of the guys who's really tried to make it work over the past years, and you've seen him do some impressive things like miss an entire day of competition, come in with no practice, and then cash checks because all the anglers fish all 3 days on the NPFL. Zach Burge back in it. Some of the younger guys, you see a KJ Queen in there. Some old school Elite Series names, a Pete Pons, a guy who's been grinding it out in the Bassmaster Opens for a number of years, has wins under his belt, a long Elite Series career there. James Niggemeyer, he's fishing it. Obviously, John Cox is back in it. Brandon Cobb, Patrick Walters, the guys who you've seen, Drew Cooks, the guys who you've seen win 30 to 40% of these NPFL events over the past 2 years. So it'll be interesting to see how that league more changes. It's very interesting. Yeah, I did notice, Kyle Welcher is not currently in the field. And he's had some great success on the NPFL. Here's just one more quote, and then we'll kind of get on with today's show. It says, for anglers ready to test themselves against a variety of fishy species, season conditions, the NPFL is the answer, Fuller said. But maybe even more than that, it's a chance to compete against all-time greats like Rick Clunn, Greg Hackney, and Andy Morgan, top crossover pros like Patrick Walters, John Cox, and Zach Burge, and homegrown stars like Timmy Reams, Todd Goad, and Scott Hamrick. Plus, we've got more than a dozen true rookies joining the field in 2026. Anglers have never fished against the top level of a major tour, but who are ready to make a name for themselves. So definitely a little bit of a push to trying to cater to some of those names. It's an interesting interview with the president of the NPFL, Brad Fuller, where he kind of talks about trying to take advantage of that while still kind of maintaining those roots of bringing up the rookie guys. So looking forward to it. 130 guys, and it looks like there might be a couple more that are joining the ranks. All right, let's get to today's show. At the end of every year, we always kind of try to give our viewers, our listeners, a little bit of a heads up on what they can expect for the holiday season. I was in the Omnia studio. Was that early? I think, yeah, it had to have been earlier this year. This year just absolutely flew by, but did a really cool segment on Omnia, kind of in their studios with Chase Hull, and we'll now bring him into the show. Chase, thanks for jumping on BTL.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Glad to be here.
It is an interesting landscape in professional fishing these days. You've got the BPT that is dropping down to 50 anglers. You have a lot of those anglers. You're seeing some of them that are currently going to the NPFL. You're seeing some that are going to the Opens. You're seeing some that are going back to the pro circuit to try to re-qualify for the BPT. You have the Elite Series that now has a true, dropping 10, bringing 10 in. The Opens is continuing to morph, and then the NPFL. It's an interesting time to be a fan of professional bass fishing in 2025.
Well, and now there's this new team series that I'm starting to hear some talk about too. Kind of a nationwide traveling team series that sounds like that's going to be drawing some attention as well.
Yeah, that's great that you brought that up. I actually had a text from someone asking me about that today. I literally just pulled it up right here. It's that dual threat. Team series. I think you have to sign up for all of them. It's Okeechobee, St. John's River, Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma, Lake Gunnersville, Watts Bar, Mississippi River, and then a championship. It looks like it's a 10-day off limits. There's no electronics deals. 6 regular seasons, top 20 teams go on to the points. And I don't want to misspeak, but I believe it's like a $5,000 entry fee for it.
I don't even want to quote on that, but I think you're right around on the ballpark.
Yeah,
there.
with the championship payout, $100,000 per regular season event, $10K for 10th. So I mean, you're splitting that with a pal, but if it is a 5,000, it's like $2,500 a piece. So it'll be interesting. I think this is in my limited time here over the past 18 years of covering this full time. I think this is the first like real legit shot at a professional team circuit. I know Scott Martin and Hillary have announced that they're fishing in it. There's going to be a number of different professional anglers that are going to take their shot at this. So yeah, that's a good one, Chase. I'm glad you brought that one up. I'll be interested to see how that goes. Cause did you follow the team series of MLF at all?
A little bit, not a ton, but
I love that format.
It's cool to see them, everything we've seen up to date is just individuals thinking on their own. And it's really fun to watch 2 guys that really know a lot about bass fishing, or 2 people that know a lot about bass fishing, really putting their knowledge together and working as a team. So I'm interested to follow that.
I'll tell you one thing. And you guys are up kind of around the Twin Cities area, very Minnesota heavy. I'm good buddies with Adam Bartusek, the guys at the Crappie Chronicles. Actually, their last episode just dropped. It's funny. I'm BTL doing a show every Tuesday called CTL that focuses on crappie fishing, and they're the Crappie Chronicles that just did a show on walleye fishing. World's all topsy-turvy on it. You can check their episode just dropped. But I will say one thing about, what do you want to call them? The Yankees, the Northern anglers, the guys up there. You guys know how to bust each other's balls and have a good time. You get the group of guys together on that. Like you get in a boat. Like when I was up there for Bart's bachelor party, I was in the boat with Sobey, I was in the boat with Bart, in the boat with a bunch of those guys. And there's something about the camaraderie of the Northern anglers, like the Southern guys kind of get in the boat and stuff. But man, you get up north and it's like, it's a different, you guys know how to just bust each other's chops and have a really good time on the water. I think that team aspect of that kind of highlights the joy of actually getting on the water and fishing with your buds.
It is. Even at tournaments, you're busting each other's chops at, before takeoff with the other teams, and it's a good time.
It is. All right. Let's talk about this. I know I see Rich on here. Hellabass. I know he did kind of a show as soon as some of these changes came out, but there was a press release in October for Omnia Fishing that you guys had some front end, back end changes. How do you want to do that? Kind of your new association with Thorne Brothers. Just kind of walk the listeners and viewers through what that is and what that means.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you that aren't aware, Thorne Brothers is another local company up here in Minneapolis area, just north of us. They've been in the game forever. They've been like the go-to muskie shop, the go-to ice fishing shop forever, as long as I can remember. And within the last 10 years or so, they put a major push into the bass game as well. And so we had kind of 2 shops within 15 miles of each other, both operating these gigantic warehouses. And the heads of each company got together and said, let's combine our efforts here and push forward as a partnership going forward. So Thorne Brothers purchased the e-commerce side of Omnia, and they now they purchased all of our inventory, moved it up to a couple of different warehouses up in Blaine, and are now fulfilling all of Omnia's orders. So what does that mean for Omnia customers? Almost nothing. From the outside coming in as a customer, Omnia will look exactly the same. Our website's still going to be up and running. You still can order all of the stuff through Omnia. The only difference is Thorne Brothers is going to be the ones shipping it out now. And the major kind of push behind this was, we're constantly asking for feedback from our customers.
Mm-hmm.
And the major feedback we continued to get was our inventory. We were out of stock on a lot of things, a lot of time. And we didn't have the product selection of some of the other places. This gives us a major, major step forward in that. Thorne Brothers has a great backing for keeping products in stock almost all the time. We combined their 20,000 plus SKUs with our 20,000 plus SKUs. So now we're, close to 38,000 active SKUs on our site to date, with more coming in every day. So this allows us to offer Thorne Brothers product directly through the Omnia website, giving our customers a much broader selection of products, along with way better in-stock rates going forward.
So those, you still go to Omnia, you still order just the way it is. It's just more stuff in stock, bigger
still
selection.
Go to Omnia. Site looks the same, checkout's the same. It's just more products to choose from. Not just bass stuff now. You mentioned your crappie talk live. We're getting into a much broader selection of multi-species. Again, I mentioned Thorne Brothers was like the go-to muskie shop. So they've got a ton of muskie gear coming in, a lot of walleye stuff, a lot of crappie and panfish gear. These guys were like extremely heavy in the ice game. So we're getting more ice stuff back on the site again, which we haven't seen in a few years. So it's pretty exciting to see all this stuff coming in.
Chase, are you a muskie guy?
A little bit. I did it for a couple of years and then kind of got back into the bass world. And I don't know. I'm a bass guy down deep.
I was looking at some of their stuff. So I've had a weird obsession with muskie. So I caught one 15 years ago up at Eagle Lake in Canada on a tube, and it was a little tiger muskie, probably a 36, 37 incher. And then I went a long time and fished a lot of fisheries where they're like, oh, you got a shot at a muskie here. And I never did it. And then when I went to a leech for this last open, I had like one day where it was like just gas and wind. And it was the day I was power fishing. I was like, oh, that looks weird. And it was like a 45 incher on a minnow. And then I picked up a 3/4 ounce chatterbait and just went to Windy Rock Points. And I was like, why are these muskie guys throwing muskie baits? Like these things inhale a freaking chatterbait. I started calling all my buddies. I think we averaged like 3 muskie a piece that day, like the spotted Leech Lake ones too, that are kind of unique for that neck of the woods. But then I went to Matt Steffen's house in Wisconsin, and he is a bona fide closet muskie freak. And I probably spent, oh yeah, dude, the guy's got thousands of everything that's brand new to everything that has, whatever, the suics, those ones like with the cupped bill that like are like the old jerk baits. He's got all the with the metal tails, all that, the cowgirls, the bulldogs, the original like lunker plunkers with the metal tails and all that. He's got thousands of those baits, and I got super into it. So it's also amazing, like all those muskie guys. So there's like a shop around his neck of the woods. You like go in, they have like 15 beers on tap and then muskie lures. And so they basically like get you to drink and then make bad life decisions on expensive muskie lures. It's brilliant.
They're almost more into their baits than bass guys are.
100%. But dude, I mean, some of those things are like works of art, and then other ones are just like, was this made by a 6-year-old? And both of them seem to work equally well. I can't figure out like the muskie bait deal.
I can't either. But yeah, no, I used to go up to Thorne just to look at the muskie stuff because they were really the only ones around that were carrying it. And so I'd run up there to look at that stuff and, pick up a couple baits here and there. But man, they make some really, really neat stuff for those fish.
Yeah. All right, we're already getting some questions. I see this here. Like, how do I use my pro gift card to renew all that? So let's talk about the codes and how that works. So you guys are familiar with Omnia Pro. We've talked about that for the past years. I did confirm that through the end of the year, you can go to omniafishing.com. And if you sign up using the code BTLPRO, which is what, $59 a year?
$59 a year.
You get a $50 gift card to use on Omnia. So you basically get all the perks of Pro with the shipping, with the discounts, with all that, plus that $50 gift card. So, I mean, there's no reason not to jump on that before the end of the year.
Yeah, it's almost free at that point. And if you buy tackle at all with the free shipping, you're getting your money back right away.
I did notice there is a new one, and I don't know what it is. Omnia Core.
Omnia Core. So we just created a second tier level of our subscriptions. We did notice that a lot of the customers, some of these guys already have a Navionics subscription. They don't need a second Navionics, but they wanted the commerce benefits. So we decided to come up with Omnia Core, which is $39 a year. With that, you get everything that you get with Pro except for Navionics. So Navionics is not included with Core, but you're still getting free shipping after $25 minimum. And then you get 5% back on all your orders. So it's a little step below the Pro, but this is more directed to, kind of the guys that are just looking for strictly commerce benefits as aside to the mapping additional.
Okay. The mapping and things like that it comes with, are you guys still putting a heavy emphasis? I know when I was up in studio last time, you were doing like lunker potential lakes. You had the lightning stuff on there. You had all sorts of different layers. What does all that mapping include with the Pro? So like, I'm going to pull this up right here. So like, I'm looking at the map here, right? And you can like see like all the stuff that's kind of around in like my neck of the woods.
Yep. So if you click on the map layers on the left-hand column there.
Yep.
That'll show you all the different map layers that comes with the subscription.
There's water layers, CMAP contours.
Layers, yeah. So that's just going to be your CMAP contours is your basic contours, all user uploaded. So there's good and bad things about this. One, it's user uploaded and not satellite data. This is all coming directly from users' input from their units. So it's generally going to be very accurate, but it's user uploaded. So as you can see, there are some spots that have not been covered by the users.
Yeah.
That's why
the cool thing though is it's got the bottom hardness on it. So if you're going to a new lake, especially if you're on a lake with like vegetation, but I mean, I think we're on Grand. It looks like Grand. Yeah, that's got to be Grand. If that's not Grand. Yeah, because there's worse. There's. I thought, this is interesting. This is just stuff that you get along with that to where you can be like, oh yeah, harder bottom there and things like that.
This layer, especially up where we are, where all of our lakes are covered in grass by the middle of the summer, having something that shows you where the hard bottom spots are and is unbelievably useful. Once that grass grows, you can't find that stuff.
This was the other cool thing was the lightning tracker that's on here that you can have on your Omnia app that can show you like where you are and then where there's lightning, where there's storm cells. You can have the radar that goes on top of it, wind, air temperature, all sorts of stuff. And then on top of that,
wind
also, talk about the wind.
The wind is by far probably my favorite layer. I look at that almost every day. Well, just trying to decide what boat ramp I'm going to use or what the wind conditions are going to look like. You get a forecast with it. I think it goes 7 days in advance, and we also just added 3-day historical. So if you want to look at what the wind has been doing the last few days and, find out where it's pushing things around, it's a great way to kind of look back at the historical stuff too.
Yeah. And then you can see it's going to switch there and change all sorts of cool stuff. I've got it on the 7-day right there. So that is all just stuff that comes on with your Omnia Pro subscription.
And so everything you see there, you get with Core.
Okay.
As well. Everything you see there comes with Core as well. The only thing that does not come with Core is the Navionics layer.
Okay. Sweet. All right. Let's talk about some baits. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Chase Hull from Omnia, we'll talk a little Black Friday. Some of this stuff might not even be out on the site yet. So this will be your kind of first look.
This is your first look at it.
All right. It's BTL on a Tuesday. We'll be back right after this.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up, With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
Before there were hashtags, there were handshakes and shared stories. They gave us confidence to make our first cast and chase our dreams. They taught us to fish, and in the process, taught us about life. They taught us that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about lifting others up. The future isn't just about selling tackle. It's about 3 simple words. Let's go fishing. Here's to the original influencers.
At Beatdown Outdoors, we know you depend on your gear to hold up in any condition. We built for that. We test for that. In fact, we pride ourselves in that. Because we know when the time comes to test your gear, you aren't going to take it easy, so we won't. We build premium, made-in-the-USA products that you can rely on in the moments when your equipment should be the last thing on your mind.
All right, welcome back, BTL, on a Tuesday. Got a lot of exciting things coming up. We're recording with Justin Lucas later today, recording with Russ Lane later today, recording with Adam Bartusek, talking about a really cool opportunity. I think so. Chase, I've got a busy first week of December. I probably should let my wife know about this. Yeah, it might be the first thing. I've only been married a month, so I am the goal. The plan is to go up for a day to the St. Paul Ice Show the first week of December there. However, I'm looking at the weather that's supposed to come through the next week and a half, and there ain't no way I'm going to make it up there for the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then make it back down to Dallas to fly into Mazatlan to go to Lake Bacharach on the 8th.
You don't want to miss Bacharach, man.
Yeah, but I also don't want to miss the St. Paul Ice Show because, like I said, if there's one thing that Minnesotans know how to do, it's to get together in large groups, drink mass quantities of alcohol, have a good time, and give each other a hard time.
And what else is better in the middle of the winter and on a sheet of ice?
Have you been to the St. Paul Ice Show before?
Of course I've been to the ice show.
Is it as badass as Bartusek is making it out to be? Like, for a bass guy that has been on the ice I've been on the ice twice. I've been burbot fishing once. I've been crappie and bass fishing one time. Like, would it be like an entirely different world for me to head into that?
All right. So for someone like you would be in awe. Just
really,
like,
that's what I keep hearing.
All of the stuff that they have there, all of the different like things you couldn't even imagine. And it's like, you guys go out and use this for fishing? Are you kidding me? You'd be in awe. And for someone like me who actually has been ice fishing, it's still cool because every year they're coming out with new stuff. This is where all like the big stuff is released and, you know, some great deals to save on things, but it's worth a trip.
I'm assuming that's the wrong St. Paul Ice Show.
That would be not the correct one.
That would actually be Stars on Ice in St. Paul. I would definitely be out of my element there. I'm trying to pull it up. There it is. The St. Paul Ice Show. It's like the best way to describe it. It's like there's Sobe right there. Look at that. It's like the classic and ICAST of ice fishing.
Yeah.
And so most open water guys, I'd say the vast majority, well, none of the open water guys really down here ice fish, but are there a bunch of guys who just ice fish and don't open water fish, or does everybody at this show pretty much cross over?
No, actually there are a lot of people that ice fish and don't open water fish. Boats are expensive, man, but anybody can walk out on the ice and chip a hole.
What percentage of guys have these side by sides and forerunners and jet. What are the snow machines and all that? Like, I mean, I watch Crappie Chronicles, and I mean, they're rolling around in $100,000 worth of tech just to get out on the ice.
I know. I would say, like, percentage wise, probably 50% of them.
I gotcha. So that's like basically their boats then.
Yep, exactly. But there's a lot of guys still just dragging a sled behind them with an auger and a couple little sticks with some line on it. And
dude, that's so much work. Like, how many times do you get out and do it? Like, I remember we would park and then they'd have their little handheld GPS and they'd be like, all right, we're going to go to, I'm like, we're going to go where? And they're like, over there. And I'm like, dude, it's like, you could barely see the opposite shore. And they're like, that's where the weed line is. And I'm like, isn't there a weed line out in front of this parking lot? I'm like, I've never sweat so much in 5-degree weather.
Isn't it crazy? It is. Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I did fair amount. I wouldn't say a lot of ice fishing, but I did a fair amount of ice fishing before I had kids. And then as soon as I had kids, I just kind of lost the motivation for it.
It's so much work.
It is. It's just to move holes and just to drill holes to be able to get your lure down there. And everything is a process, ice fishing.
Did you ever get into the tournament ice fishing? Like, I mean, I know Waldron and some of the guys do it, and there's some tournaments up there that are just absolutely mind-boggling. It's becoming bigger and bigger. There's an ultimate panfish league now. Those guys are running around to all sorts of different lakes. Oh, the UPL. Yeah. Yep. And that is what it's called. Yep. Okay. And they've got those guys have some sweet rigs that they're running around with. I mean, they're the tournament guys of the ice fishing world. They're running around on these souped up snowmobiles and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty fun to see some of the pictures. My gosh. I'm on it right now. Team format. So do they do like a takeoff where they literally like take off with their snow machines and it's like just like the bass deal? Just like a bass blast. I think it's a shotgun start though. I don't think they draw numbers, and they rip out of there. All right, here we go. Format. Team events. 2 anglers per team. Max 30 teams per event. Oh, you can pre-fish. No pre-drilling holes or setting up a spot the morning of the event. You must take off. Both team members are present at weigh-in. Limits 15 fish total, which includes 7 crappie, 7 sunfish, and 1 bonus fish of either a crappie or a sunfish for your 15 fish total, but only after 7 sunfish and 7 crappie have been in your weigh bucket. 8-inch minimum size limit on crappie, 7-inch minimum size limit on sunfish. Culling is allowed, but if you're caught throwing back a dead fish, you're DQ'd. All species and regulations. I'm in on it. Yeah, no, you should check out some of the pictures and stuff. They look like they have a good time. All right, let's get to some of the Omnia Black Friday deals. You kind of lead the way here. I'll pull up the website. Anything that's on here right now that you want to kind of draw people's attention to? Yeah, so actually we haven't even updated our website yet with these deals. So the only thing that might be on there right now is currently the 20% off Bubba there. It just popped off. So Bubba does have 20% off their products right now. Great time to save on some of the best scales. I love their scissors. They make some good stuff and it's not cheap. So being able to save 20% on it, pretty cool right now. And that goes through Monday, I believe, maybe even a little extended, but that one's live now. Okay. Very cool. There it is right there. Yeah, you can get the smart fish scale. I would recommend the way this is going, get their highest end, whatever the biggest scale you can buy is. Why not? Just when you're saving? With what's going on, like Bluetooth connectivity and everything, like who knows where that's going. Like I made the mistake and bought the LTE or the Lite, the little one, which I absolutely love, but it's just hard for me to like do the 5 where it automatically culls on it and all that stuff. The Bluetooth connectivity that they already have, and who knows, like you said, what's going to come, but
what they already have in there is pretty cool too. It can track all your fish catches, show you where you caught them on the app, and all sorts of stuff. You can have tournaments with your buddies online. It's a pretty sweet thing.
Do you have one of these? The Pro cordless?
I don't. I'm like 99.9% of my fish all get thrown back. I rarely keep fish for a fry.
You need this for the 0.1. This is dude. You can carve turkeys. You can carve meats with this. This
I didn't even think
stays in my
that.
truck. You could do hams. You can cut anything on this stuff. I got this for Christmas last year, and this is the most badass knife that I've ever had in my life. Like, I know you can get the other ones, the smaller Rapala ones work too and everything, but the battery life on this, what you can cut through, the knife selection, how long it lasts, the case that it comes in, like 200, it's 215. You're saving over $50 on this, dude. Absolutely well worth it. Like, I would put this on my Christmas list. If you do not have a fillet knife, you're good for like the next decade.
I didn't even think all the other stuff you can cut with it. Now I want one for Thursday.
Yeah, they're badass.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I mean, anything that isn't badass.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. Like, everything I've ever put my hands on from Bubba, it feels good in the hand. It works well. Everything I've had from them, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah. All right. Hit us with some of the stuff that's not on there yet, Chase.
So that one's live now. Thursday, we're going to open it off. $60 gift, or you buy a $50 gift card, you're going to get a $60 gift card. So $60 gift card for $50. That starts on Thursday. So little bird day special. Friday, we're going to open it up with 2 times pro rewards points on rods and reels. Rods and reels are something we have a hard time actually putting a discount on. A lot of that stuff is price protected. There's just, unfortunately, nothing we can do about that. So this is our way of being able to offer some kind of a sale on those. Pro members are going to get 2 times the rewards points, so 20% back on any rod or reel purchase.
Okay, walk me through that again. So if you're not an Omnia Pro, let me just make sure we can do this right. I should have done this before the show. I apologize. If I'm wrong, cut me off here. So if you sign up for Pro, it's $59. You immediately get a $50 gift card with that purchase, so that it's only $9. Now you're with the Pro, you get all those perks. Then on Friday, you get 2x points on the rods and reels, and then the points go to Omnia Credit? Or is it just... Okay.
Same place that $50 gift card would go to. It goes to credits on your account. And so, yeah, pro members, subscribers, again, earn 10% back on every order. So this, we're offering 2 times that, so 20% back in credits on any rod or reel purchase. So that,
So there's a good possibility here that if you play your cards right here and you're planning on getting some rods, some reels, or whatever, you're basically playing with house money when it comes to your terminal tackle or the swim baits that come out or your line for the year or that. And then you use your Omnia credit for that. So you're really paying for something that you would have paid. And then it's like, that's how that works.
Yeah, exactly. And a rod and reel is a great example of that, because you're going to end up with some fairly good credits after that, no matter what rod or reel you buy these days. Yep. And I mean, that's going to be 20, 30, whatever, how many dollars you can throw to baits or whatever you need coming up for the season.
Okay. So that's on actual Black Friday deal.
That's on actual Black Friday. And along with that, we are also releasing an Omni exclusive color missile bait D-bomb, which I'm super excited about. That's one of my favorite flipping baits. And
John, I've not heard about this from John. Can we get a hint on, like, is this top secret stuff that you can't say?
No. So we have the Omni exclusive Omnia camo Lil Magnum flipping jig from Beast Coast. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you can pull that up quick, but that's going to be the color it matches with really well. It's kind of that, I want to call it like a green pumpkin with that blue interface in it.
The hand-tied Lil Magnum?
Yep.
And then what is the custom color?
Should be Omnia Camo, I think.
Omnia Camo. Okay. Boom.
Yeah, so kind of that green pumpkin, blue interface, kind of a money craw, but a little deeper, a little more blue to it.
So this is going to pair very nicely with the D-bomb.
It's going to pair perfectly with the new.
That's your hint of saying kind of what that color is going to be without letting the cat completely out of the bag.
Completely out of the bag, but those two are going to be perfect together.
I wonder where that saying came from.
The cat out of the bag.
Yeah, letting the cat out of the bag. Like, I wonder if that can't be pleasant for a cat. Because I'm assuming that means that the cat's been in the bag long enough that it like really wants out of the bag. So when you let the cat out of the bag, like, I don't know if you've ever got a cat stuck in a raccoon trap. That was a lot of my childhood, was hoping it wasn't the neighbor's cats, because the raccoons would sit there, the cats would turn demon red eyes and be upside down, and then like you obviously don't you just let the cats go and hope that they learn. And it is, when letting the cat out of the trap is an adventure.
Oh God,
it's 50-50 on whether they take off or whether they turn around and are like take part in their ancestral like wild cat attack mode.
Those things are vicious.
Yes.
Vicious.
Okay, so that's cool. That's a little Omnia exclusive there.
Yep. So that's coming out on Black Friday. Saturday, we have 20% off all Z-Man products. One of the most popular brands out there right now. Everybody loves the Elastic. 20% off to get some goods on that stuff. And that includes all their jig heads. That's not just their plastics too. So anything Z-Man product, 20% off.
And then can you use the capital BTL10 to get an additional 10%, or is that just regularly priced stuff?
So that would be regularly priced stuff.
Okay. So if you want to order anything regularly priced, I have an additional code, which is capital BTL10 at checkout. That'll take 10% off the additional, regardless of whether you have Core, Pro, or nothing.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's regular priced items and not on sale, but Pro members also get an additional 10% back on top of that as well. So they could use the BTL10 to get 10% right off front, and then they still get their 10% in credits on the return there as well.
This is not at all what I thought it was, Chase.
No.
It says one popular explanation suggests that the phrase originates from medieval markets where dishonest merchants would sell a cat in a bag instead of a more valuable piglet.
I thought you were talking about my sales.
No. If a customer discovered the deception, they would say the cat is out of the bag, indicating that the secret is revealed. So they would get a cat instead of a pig in a burlap sack. And then when the cat's out of the bag, and then another theory, Another theory is that the phrase to the cat 09 tails, a whip used for punishing sailors. A whip was often kept in a bag. If someone revealed the punishment that was about to be administered, they would be letting the cat out of the bag.
I told you it had a dark history.
It totally does. I thought it was just an angry cat in a bag, and people were like, dude, you ever kept a cat in a bag and let it out? Like, it's everyone knows about it once it comes out.
Oh, man. Okay,
sorry, back to the Black Friday deals.
All right, we're Z-Man. So that
Say that one again. Saturday. I was reading the cat in the bag theories when you said Z-Man again.
All right. So Saturday, 11/29, Saturday starts our 20% on Z-Man. And again, that's anything Z-Man, their jig heads, plastics. So that's a good one. I love Z-Man. Sunday, we are going to start a 25% off all Woo tungsten products.
Okay.
So that great way to save some money on stuff that you hate spending money on.
Love their heavy nets, like up on Thousand Island, St. Lawrence River. They make a quarter and I believe a 3/8 ounce tungsten Ned that is like the best heavy Ned for drifting for deeper water, in my opinion.
They've got some good stuff. They've got extra wide gap Ned heads too. So if you're flipping that stuff around cover, a lot of our rivers have lay downs and stuff, and those things come through all that wood and everything really, really well. So that's one of my big players for smallies on the river, are those extra wide gap heads. I like those a lot. Nice. And I hate buying tungsten weights. It's like buying gas or buying milk. It's like one of those things that you have to buy, but you hate spending money on it. So
yeah, I was lucky with Denali. hooked me up with, they make tungsten too. So when I get a rod and reel, I'll be like, hey, throw in some. But then I always feel bad because like after one tournament, I'll go through like 8 packs of the 3/8 ounce drop shots, and I'll be like, hey, just clean the warehouse out and send it to me.
Oh gosh, that stuff's getting so expensive now. So
are you a matte black drop shot guy or a shiny drop shot guy?
I'm a matte black. I'm a matte black all the time. I don't want the weight drawing any attention, so I don't want any shine to it. I want that thing to just slide past him as much as it can without being seen.
Interesting. 50-50. See, I'm a shiny guy unless I'm dragging, because I want the weight to be seen. I want to draw the fish's attention and make it fall past the fish to where it goes, whoa, what's that?
That all right. That makes
especially like
a lot of sense.
Spotted bass with like a little drop shot bait or something like that when they're like mid to high in the column. Like if you would typically go with a quarter, I'll go with like a half or a 5/8 and then just shoot. And I want that thing polished up. I want it looking like a disco ball as it shoots past them, and you see them just go shoot and go down. And then when they go down, they go, and then the bait stops 12 to 16 inches in front, and they're like, whoa, what's that? Boom. And then they eat the bait. Just my theory. I don't know.
You ever have an issue with them hitting the weight?
Not really.
Interesting.
Well,
maybe I'll just give that a try then.
Have an issue with generating bites, Chase, but all right. Anything else?
All right. So Saturday or Sunday is Woo Tungsten 25% off, and then Cyber Monday, the big one, is going to be 25% off site wide, except for durables. So no rod and reels, but 25% off everything else. I don't think we've ever run a 25% off sale that I can remember site wide.
Wow.
I think 20% is the most we've done in the past. So 25% is pretty neat for this.
So that's all baits on there except rod, like whatever, durable.
Everything except for rods and reels. So that's all baits. That's, any of your pliers or your
crankbaits, pliers, plastics,
accessories, storage stuff.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So 25% off that, and that'll be, all the good stuff there.
All right. Anything else?
That kind of wraps it up. All these sales, they have different start dates, but they're all good through the end of the day on Monday, Cyber Monday. So December 1st at midnight when they all end. But
yeah, and then if you sign up for Omnia Pro and you just check out, use the code capital BTLPRO, get signed up, and make the most of it.
Make the most of it. Then you're getting free shipping on all of this, no matter what your order size is. You got all of the app features. We're continuing to build in new app features every day. Got some pretty exciting stuff coming up with that. I can't really talk about it yet because I don't know what's fully in and what's fully out yet, but there's a lot of the good changes coming to that as well. And yeah, with the broader product selection, you're just going to have a lot more to choose from.
Are you guys still in that like office? Like I know that you're with the Thorn Brothers thing and they carry it. Like you guys just have like a badass street hockey venue in the back there now without any of the product being there?
No. So we moved out of our Golden Valley office. We're in an office now in Northeast Minneapolis, which it's different. It's I went to school and I worked for 10 years downtown Minneapolis, so kind of coming back to that downtown life it's different. It's fun, and there are things about the suburbs I miss and things about the warehouse I'm going to miss, but there are a lot of things I'm not going to miss about it too. So
there you go. All right. Chase Hall, thanks for jumping on BTL. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Great talking with you guys. Check out BTL Pro gets you that $50 gift card. Some great sales coming up, and a lot more products to choose from coming up here. So we're excited.
All right. See ya.
See ya, man.
All right. There you go. We're going to take a break. Come back, wrap things up on a Tuesday, pre-Thanksgiving. This is Bass Talk Live.
Your early morning mentality is your every hour mentality. All gas, no brakes. Focus. purpose, power. Destined for the water, but confident everywhere else. A calming buzz before the storm, the truth of nature itself. You can't catch lightning in a bottle. There's a limit out there, but it's not with your gear. Unrelenting power delivery. Unparalleled weight savings. Keeping you on the water, whether you run a 9.9 or outscoping your best 5. In this rare air, there's power in the silence. It's a mindset, thinking only of the things that matter and freeing your mind from the things that you trust.
As a professional angler, there's only one thing that connects you to your paycheck. Probably the most crucial part to tournament bass fishing. I use Sunline because they have a line for every application. Shooter, FX2, All Might, super light line, big stuff, big sticks. Sunline has you covered.
Sharp as can be. Super strong, super durable.
Really good penetration.
Thinner and stronger.
Catch fish after fish.
I want to make sure that I'm using the best stuff possible.
World's finest hook.
World's finest hook.
Gamakatsu. World's finest hook.
Hey guys, Brian Schmidt here with Spro. I'm going to talk to you about the confidence I have in the equipment I use. You know, I have a charter boat business back home in Maryland. We fish for saltwater fish, and I also fish the Bassmasters Elite Series. So I keep my lights on by fishing. I have to have a lot of confidence in the equipment I use. Spro has me covered from head to toe, saltwater, freshwater, everything in between. A lot of high-end quality product. Spro has you covered.
I fish in some of the worst elements across the country. Spring, that's a giant, dude. Summer, oh my gosh. Hi, look at that thing. Winter. It's so cold. And fall. Got a big one. That's awesome. Being comfortable and staying dry is the only option. AFCO. Any fish, any water.
All right, welcome back, BT on a Tuesday. We're actually going to get Bart on now. We had all that talk about the St. Paul Ice Show, host of the Crappie Chronicles, Adam Bartusek, also my partner for the St. Jude Bass Classic the first week of May. At Wabasha, Minnesota, also had a meeting with the guys at Fishing Chaos yesterday. We have ironed out the final details of the online tournament to benefit St. Jude, so look for something very soon as to when that will officially kick off. Whether you're through the ice, whether you're down south, whatever, you can fish in this tournament. 100% of the proceeds go to St. Jude, and it's going to run from, looks like December all the way through April 15th. All right, before we get Bart on, you got to talk about this. Bass, that last EQ there on Okeechobee, there were 11 anglers that fished on the final day. And that's because one angler was fishing under appeal. So basically, random polygraph gets administered. Something funky comes up in that. They say, hey, this wasn't copacetic. You're going to get DQ'd. What you can do is you can say, I like to fish under appeal. And that way you fish. They basically kind of make those changes as necessary. Should you make a cut, should you be in the money, to make sure that no one below you gets screwed out of a check or gets screwed out of a top 10 finish if that appeal is upheld. That's kind of what happened on Okeechobee for a truth verification test. And Jaden Parrish was disqualified for that event on Okeechobee. He did fish under appeal, and then Bass put a press release out at the end of last week that said, during the review of the initial test, inconsistencies were identified that required additional testing. Subsequent assessments produced results that did not pass the standards necessary to clear the no info rule. Per Bass rule, Parrish exercised his right to appeal and continued to compete under appeal following full review by multiple independent examiners, none of whom were involved in the initial assessment. The recommendation was that a retest was not warranted based on the totality of the testing irregularities. Made it through that sentence. And the number of assessments already conducted in accordance with the Bassmaster credibility policy. Parrish has been disqualified from the event. I believe he ended up finishing 11th in that event. You just do a little bit of basic math and see where he was in the points and where he was in that tournament. And he was a fish or two away from it being a very interesting situation, with him having then would have qualified for the Elite Series instead of being first or second man out for that. So wild stuff that's going on with there. Also with Tayao, I don't know anything more than the surface. So to hypothesize, to talk on either one of those would simply be uneducated. All right. I was going to do a separate show with Bart, but we're going to bring Bart in. He's got a lot of cool stuff. And then I did the segment on the St. Paul Ice show with Chase, and Bart is the one who was like, dude, you got to come up to the St. Paul Ice show. Adam Bartusek from the Crappie Chronicles, the Walleye Chronicles, the Trout Chronicles, and the Perch Chronicles. Thanks for jumping on BTL, Bart.
What's up, dude? Good to be back.
Thanks for waking up. I know you're not an early morning fellow, and this
it's not
is
early morning anymore. It's 9:30.
for you, it is. This is a half hour earlier than I was planning on having you on. But thanks for jumping on. I think we sold the St. Paul Ice show pretty good to the bass guys. Chase said it's like a completely different world for a dude who's grown up in the bass world.
Yeah, no, it's very different. I don't know. I wasn't listening, so I have no idea what you guys talked about there. But yeah, it's a super cool experience. I mean, the ice fishing market in general is kind of this, niche, whatever, but it's like bigger up here. It's a very big market, but it's a completely different market than like the open water bass fishing or walleye or whatever. Like, it's just a completely different world. So I always look forward getting into ice season here. It is very different in terms of just like the demographic and the people you see, everybody around, the other people who work in the industry. So it'll be a lot of fun. You're going to have a very interesting experience being there, walking around.
So that's what I was talking with Chase, though. This weather might throw a hitch in that, Bart, because aren't you guys supposed to get like a nor'eastern that rips through the area next week after Thanksgiving?
I haven't really seen that, but I think you'll be fine. It takes like half a day for snow to get cleaned up here. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like when it hits Oklahoma.
Okay.
We do, believe it or not, we do get snow a lot. So they normally do a good job with it. Let me look. I just know we're supposed to get snow tonight, right? Right now.
I just know that like the day after Thanksgiving or Saturday after Thanksgiving, my folks in Illinois are getting 8 inches of snow.
Yeah, that's not, I don't think that's happening here. I think we're supposed to get some on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, potentially. But...
Okay. And then that St. Paul Ice show is...
Oh, no, we're not. I mean, maybe like 1.5 inches or something at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, not much.
Like I said, I would like to point out that if you just go to Bing and then type in the St. Paul Ice show, this is not the St. Paul Ice show that we're talking about.
No.
That is actually St. Paul on ice.
Yeah, different.
Figure skating.
Same place, though.
Oh, it is?
No.
So there's 2 St. Paul Ice shows, one of which is...
No, I'm saying that's held at the same venue.
Yeah. But one of which is like a
literal ice,
high class literal figure skating. The rest is like just all the diehard ice fishing folks.
Yeah, ice fishing. And
if you're a bass guy who's never ice fished but you live in the area or are around, is this like worth going to?
I mean, it's for if you're an ice fisherman. That's what I would say. Because the other thing is like you got to park downtown. You go to St. Paul, like it's a whole thing. But if you're looking to shop, if you're looking to chat with people who are a part of the ice industry and do all that, it's great deals, great pricing. It's one of the only places all year where you'll have like everybody who makes ice fishing content, everybody who makes ice fishing TV shows, all the social media people, everybody's under one roof. So you get to see everybody there. It's kind of like, the Classic Expo or whatever.
You're doing a very cool event for St. Jude, kind of in conjunction with the St. Paul Ice Show. And every year you've kind of dipped into the bass fishing world with it. I've been up there for a number of years, wasn't able to be up there this past year, but go ahead and talk about what you have going on during the St. Paul Ice Show. What day is it? Is it the 5th or the 6th?
It's the 6th. It's Saturday
night in St. Paul.
Yeah, it's at Tom Reid's Hockey Pub, which is, for people that don't know, that's like across the street, basically, from the River Center, XL Center. They don't even call it the XL Center anymore, but that's what it's going to always be called. But so what we're doing down there is kind of taking after kind of what Chris and Trait did with the Classic last year that kind of helped us out with fundraising so much money. We've done our Break Your PB St. Jude fundraiser down at Giesenbroich for the last 3 or 4 years. I don't remember. And it's gone super, super well. But basically, the number one thing we've always gotten from people is man, it's a little bit out of the cities. I would love to be able to be there. That sort of stuff. So we figured we'd have it literally at the most convenient time for, I think, everybody to be there, which is Saturday after the St. Paul Ice Show. So everybody can go to the St. Paul Ice Show, do their whole thing, and then afterwards, we're selling 200 tickets for this at Tom Reid's. So it'll be, I think it's $100 a ticket. You get food, you get a free drink, you get some raffle tickets, there's live music, and you get to be in there. And then the other thing with that is, the Chronicles guys will all be there. We'll be there. Sobe will be there. Nick Lindner might be there. Brett McComas, TJ Erickson, just a ton. Will Pappenfuss, Hunter Nitty, Brent Lopez, just a bunch of people that make a ton of the content in the ice fishing industry or have a huge part in it. People you've seen everywhere. They're all going to be there because we're all friends with each other. So it'll be a really cool experience for anybody who wants to come out, help fundraise some money, have some beers, have some food, and just hang out for a night after the St. Paul Ice Show. So that'll roll from 6:30 to 10:30-ish. People can stay as long as they want. They can come so they could be there for as long as they want, and it should be a super fun time. We're really looking forward to it. I think it's going to fundraise a ton of money for St. Jude. Hopefully that's a goal this year, and we will have some online stuff for people who don't want to be there. We're going to be doing some silent auctions this year for guide trips and stuff like that will go up on Sunday. Oh, actually, it'll be next week Sunday now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people will be able to bid on them, be super cool. It's going to overall just be really cool event.
Where can people go if they want more information on this?
Well, if they want more info, there's a bunch on our social media pages, and there's an event. But if you want to buy a ticket, those are for sale on our merch website. So you can go snag one.
Crappie Chronicles. Crappie Chronicles or Crappie Chronicles?
It's just CrappieChronicles.com.
Okay. Is this your 5th season already?
This will actually be our 6th season. So
this
we're
is
just
the
finished
6th season.
Yeah, so we're just finishing up the video you're posting. We're just finishing up posting season 5 right now. I think people kind of get a little bit confused on the seasons thing.
You do a little bit of a wraparound season.
Well, it's a little wrapped around, and honestly, the only reason it's wrapped around is 2 years ago we had that winter that never existed. So then we kind of had to hold on to 7 or 8 episodes because all of a sudden it was February and there was no ice here, so nobody was watching ice content. So then we held on to it till the next year, put them all out last year, and then started putting out season 5 last year. Well, then I was about to put out the Montana videos, and all of a sudden it got to 50 degrees at the beginning of March again, and ice went away. So I can't really do much about that.
Yeah, so this is all Montana, which you don't think of that in fishing.
Yeah, Montana's incredible, dude. That is a not explored place by people fishing. It is remarkable. It has some of the biggest fish of all species, in the world. Right now. Yeah, last night we posted this one with some big walleyes and stuff.
Can I say how big it was?
Yeah, 11
and a quarter pound walleye.
And it's not even 30 inches. That's
that dude who caught it. Is he a pro walleye guy?
Yeah, Owen fishes the National Walleye Tour, so he fishes the NWT.
So that's just like a decent fish for him.
I mean, that's still a really, really big fish. Like you can't catch fish that big in a lot of places, to be honest. But no, his PB is out of place in Montana, and I believe it's like 17.5 pounds.
Good Lord. Cheeks on that would be so delicious.
Another 5 pounds bigger than that one.
Oh, that'd be like you could have like a walleye cheek sandwich.
Yeah,
I mean, 17-pound walleye.
It would be like having a chicken patty on it, basically. I think.
Is that frowned upon to cut a 17-pound walleye?
Yes, very frowned upon. Very frowned upon.
What about an 11?
Very frowned upon. Yeah,
really?
you don't really keep those ones. Yeah. What was super cool about those fish though is we did keep a bunch of them. We kept a bunch of walleyes a day before this episode when we first ran into them. Kept a bunch of 16 to like 22 inchers, and it's the only place I've ever been to in my life. Those fish are so healthy that they actually have a line of fat on their bellies when you fillet them, because they are eating so much trout. I've never seen, I mean, we've cut a lot of fish around the country, whether it be crappies, walleyes, pike, you name it. I've never seen like a layer like you would have on like a ribeye or a New York strip, or you know what I mean, where there's like a legitimate fat layer down there. And those had that. It was very unique.
I'm ready for Pink to join you guys on this trip, because the oddly stuffed walleye or whatever those were, jalapenos.
Yeah,
look fantastic.
Poppers,
Griff just does not have the touch that Pink does in the kitchen.
No. I was even thinking that last night when I was editing it. I was like, God, Pink shows up next episode. Thank God. We need something else in here.
Griff's like, we're going to throw some walleye in there. This is some sour cream. It calls for 4 ounces of cheese. So we'll just put about a quarter of the bag. And then he's got a bowl that's like way too small for it. It's overflowing. They chuck it in the jalapenos. Comes out like all Pincala. He's the chef there. I do want to mention this. Still, one of the guys at Crappie Chronicles, Frozen Kitchen, Ryan Pincala. It's not just for ice fishing, but if you have someone in your life who likes to catch and cook, catch and release into the grease, cast, catch, count, mount, whatever it is, walleye, crappie, bluegill, perch, white bass, striper, spawning largemouth,
any whitefish, yeah,
any whitefish. This is a killer book that supports the guys in the industry who do it. It's called The Frozen Kitchen, the cookbook of ice fishing. It's less than $30 on Amazon right now.
Yeah, it is. We actually sell a pile of these things around right now. It is a great holiday gift, especially like if you're at a family Christmas or something and they do the whole like bring a $25 or $30 gift and put it in a white elephant bag or whatever. There's a lot of people that end up really liking this just because, I mean, most people, all they ever do with fish is kind of fry them up. So just a unique spin on it. We cook them a bunch of different ways. So
I had Chase on. We were talking about a lot of the unique trails that were around. I mentioned, talked a lot about the MPFL with 48 current or former Elite Series pros.
Is that how many it ended up being?
Yeah, 48 out of the 130. And then you've got classic champs in Hank Cherry, Lou Clausen, and Rick Klun, and then FLW champs or Forest Wood Cup champs or MLF, whatever you want to call that, FLW Tour level championship in Hackney, Suggs, Tharp, and John Cox. Pretty strong field.
Yeah. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be very entertaining.
Yeah. I believe that Minnesota has probably, outside of that, you've got the One Bass stuff and the BAM 60 stuff out in California, that West Coast stuff. But the Champions Tour up in Minnesota, I think, belongs in the conversation. It doesn't belong. It is in the top tier of kind of unique, top level, high, big money tournaments across the country. And it gets a fair amount of press, but would you agree that it kind of belongs in that conversation as like a really badass top tier trail?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I mean, what's cool about the Champions Tour is kind of with all the changes that have, I mean, you've talked about it, that have gone on with MLF and their different formats and everything. The Champions Tour has been every fish counts over a pound for like, I don't know, it might be like 7-8 years now. Like, it's been a long time. It's been basically since MLF was doing their online TV shows too. And it's still going that way. Guys love it up here. And like you said, there is nowhere to, nowhere around the upper Midwest that pays out as well, has as big of payouts, or just kind of all that sort of stuff. There's nowhere that has that up here other than the Champions Tour. And now since Dane took it over, like you're looking at the qualifiers, there's been enough of a demand from not even just Minnesota. It is all around the upper Midwest that people want to be a part of this tour. But we have also seen, I produced all the media for it and have helped out. Kind of the happy number with boat numbers for this is 50, because they also do like a lake split during this. So the night before we'll split the lake. They have to fish on one half in the morning, one half in the afternoon. And then with 50 boats, you have to think of like 50 boats in a Champions Tour event would be like being on a body of water with 100. And our lakes aren't quite as big as places down south. So that's about where we can max out. But now we have the qualifiers. So kind of creating its own like opens type thing where people are fishing for 5 or 7 spots? It's something like that.
7 spots.
Yep. 7 spots through 2 events. To qualify for the spots for the following year. So demand is very, very high for it. It is a very cool place to fish. The sponsors really support it, and everybody's kind of taking it all in with, we have all our boat marshals are high school anglers, which is super cool. So utilizing all the high schoolers around, and yeah, it goes super well.
This intrigues me. This very much intrigues me. This is one of those things we're sitting around at the end of November, beginning of December. I'm like, you know what? I should just sign up for the qualifiers there. And then you actually get to it and you're like, my God, I haven't been home in 38 days.
Yeah.
So.
I've told you this for years. This was before the qualifiers became a thing, but I told you for a long time you should sign up for the Champions Tour because I thought you would do really well.
Yeah, no, they're pretty strict about it too, because I know some of the guys that would like to get in the Champions Tour, and they were like, no, you have to go through the qualifiers. And they're like, dude, I've made over $1 million and won multiple tour level events. I can't get in the Champions Tour. And they're like, no, but you can get in the qualifiers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's because it's, work. Obviously, if you fish it there, you'd probably make it and work your way up. But there's people who've been a part of that trail for like 8-9 years. So you kind of got to give them a bit of priority, a little bit of love there, since they helped make it to what it is now. It still is one of the only places you can win a boat in the Midwest. So, or at least up here. So other than fundraising $5,000 at the St. Jude tournament.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask you about that I talked to Chase about, we somehow ended up on the UPL website page.
Oh, yeah, with Matt Johnson, the Ultimate Panfish League.
How intense is the Ultimate Panfish League, and does that compare at all to like bass tournaments?
Yeah, I mean, it's so the UPL and like Kings of Panfish would be another kind of top level tournament.
The KOP?
Yep, the KOP. And I would say so it's a lot like bass tournaments. The money in ice tournaments is way less. Like people are paying like $200 entry fees, winning like $500 to $1,000. It's not very high. People do it because they love it and they're very competitive. I would say though, like those guys who do that, dude, they're a special breed of angler. Like they are out there in some wild elements because they do not fish in houses very much because it slows you down. So what they do is they go out in their ice houses and or in their ice suits, and they're outside and 0 degrees and 40-mile-an-hour winds, man. It is
that sounds
crazy.
Miserable.
Yeah, and then it's like, I don't remember. I think UPL is your top 7 bluegills and then your top 7 crappies. And then once you get your limit, you can keep an 8th crappie.
Yeah.
You can keep an eighth of each, whichever.
Oh no, we went through all the
always
rules.
gonna
I
be
mean,
a
we
tie.
went through it with a fine tooth comb. We know all about the UPL, Bart.
Yeah, so it is very cool, but yeah, there's I think they're taking more people in. It's cool. That's kind of the tournament side of the ice fishing scene. There's not a lot of press on it. I think there's getting to be a little bit more, but yeah, there's just
I wouldn't.
It's very
I think
different.
it'd be difficult to find people who would want to be out there cover that.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing is the elements are just kind of insane, and people love ice fishing, and ice fishing's big, but they want to sit in their ice house, stay warm, maybe catch some fish and enjoy it for what it is rather than go chase them around. Like we kind of do that with the Crappie Chronicles, and we're very mobile and stay outside, but not everybody else is like that.
Also, the host of Pass the Barb podcast talk a lot about what's going on, not only in the crappie up north, all that world, but focus a lot on the bass fishing. Want to get your take heading into 2026. You've got the BPT with 50 anglers. You got 10 new guys coming onto the Elite Series. You've got this NPFL with 130 with the third. It's almost half. Well, yeah, over a third of the field. Very familiar names, and then you have this new high level team series that's coming into play. We talked about that too in the first half of it. Which league / series events are you most kind of looking forward to seeing how it plays out in 2026, Bart?
Honestly, man, I have no idea. Right now, I'll be very transparently honest with you. I have gone from watching a ton of tournament bass fishing to kind of not watching as much of it. And it has nothing to do with for who's using forward facing sonar, who's not using it. I don't care. I use it. I enjoy watching people catch fish and how they're doing it. I think it's kind of just been a struggle with all the drama and change and everything that's been going on in the industry. So I've just kind of stayed in my own lane, watch what I enjoy watching. I've been really intrigued with everything that MLF and the BPT are doing. I'm very intrigued to see, they're calling it the Invitationals again, right?
Yes.
It is back to the Invitationals with the old FLW tour.
Yeah, it's whatever it was. No, it's back to the pro circuit.
It's back
whatever,
to the pro circuit.
Yeah, back to the pro
it is.
circuit.
Okay.
It's whatever it was before this year.
Yeah, so I'm excited to watch that again. I think MLF's been doing a great job. I'm intrigued to see how the whole every other event thing goes on with bass. It's kind of, in my opinion, a really major bummer that they don't have forward-facing sonar in Guntersville. I think people are going to be pretty disappointed watching guys catch 20 pounds a day when they know they could be catching 30. So I guess we'll see how that is. But I don't know. I'm going to watch how it all shakes out. I still love tournament bass fishing, and I'm going to pay attention to it. But right now, kind of the focus for me is on making ice content, making content for people that kind of are like myself, and they just want to watch people catch fish and have fun catching fish, because that's ultimately what this all is, right? We like catching fish and going on adventures and doing it. So
I'm talking about it.
Yeah, and talking about it, exactly. So I don't enjoy it. Like with Pass the Barb, we try to keep it as fun and light as possible. So we avoid a lot of the negative drama-driven stuff just because really that's not helping anybody in the grand scheme of things. It's about having fun and enjoying it. Because once again, like tournament bass fishing, in my opinion, at this point in time is kind of a luxury. It's something we go do because we really like it. There's some people that get to make livings doing it, but the industry has changed a lot. There's a lot of different ways to sell some bait, sell some products, sell some electronics. And I think the competition side will always have a major place in it, but you need a bunch of people that are getting along. And right now it seems like there's a lot of people who are not getting along and kind of won't put their egos aside, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, one more time, coming up on December 6th, an opportunity to hang out with some good old Northern boys.
You say October or December? 6th?
December. Sorry,
okay.
I just lost 2 months of my life. December 6th, hang out with some Northern boys, talk ice fishing, talk bass fishing, at a hockey venue. Nothing like Minnesota ice fishing and hockey.
The Minnesota
Wild price of admission.
The Minnesota Wild Hockey Bar, dude. Like you'll love that. You'll actually really love that place. There's a lot of hockey memorabilia from Minnesota, the Wild.
I was a big North Stars fan.
Yeah.
Neil Broughton,
Yeah, there's a bunch. It's
Mike
like
Madonna,
literally the hockey bar.
The old school yellow with the actual N with the star would stop in Duluth every single year on the way up to Canada. As a youngster, my dad would let me get one North Star item.
Yeah.
Hat. I was big into the pennants. I've got several of the, like the triangle pennants. For some reason, I was one of those kids that loved to hang a good pennant from my wall.
Yeah. No, dude, it's super cool. There's a bunch of stuff there.
Were you a pennant kid?
No, I wasn't even really a hockey fan until I started dating Alyssa. I grew up in Minnesota. I played basketball forever, but I would watch it every once in a while, but I never grew up in a hockey family. But now we go to Wild games and have some season tickets, so check them out pretty often. It's nice. We don't suck anymore. We started the beginning of the year. We were terrible. But now we've kind of put it together.
Yeah. And you got to watch probably one of the best goalies to ever do it for the last couple of years too.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, I enjoy it. Hockey's a good time. And especially in a place where, like, this is the center of it. Yeah. Everybody loves it. So it is very cool to see.
High school hockey up there is like high school football in West Texas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like our state, the state hockey tournament's crazy. They sell out the X. Like, it's like 20 to 30,000 people in attendance every day. It's nuts. It is legitimately nuts. So yeah, that's basically the best way to equate it. It's like football in Texas, but it's hockey up here. I mean, if you look at like college hockey and the NHL and everything, the amount of roots that go back to Minnesota is crazy.
Yeah. You're a Minnesota imposter if you're not a hockey fan.
I mean, I'm a hockey fan now. It's just I didn't grow up playing it. I played basketball. Minnesota also has a ton of basketball recruits that go out nationwide.
Bart's about as Minnesotan as you can get. I will admit that. I mean, there's nothing Bart likes more than a early morning stop at the Quick Trip to get a beverage and a processed meat sandwich before heading out to the ice fishing grounds and drilling some holes, coming back and drinking some absolutely heavy beer that you have you guys in Minnesota can drink beer that like I'm good for like a half, and I'm like a half, and I'm like, okay, that's about all my system can handle. And that's like, you guys start out with like 3 of them.
Yeah, I'm
that German heavy German beer.
Yeah, there'll be some lighter beer there at the event this year. So you
that's a genetics thing, though.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, dude, it's like December to March up here is cold, man. There's not much going on, so. You eventually learn to like hockey, basketball, drinking beer, and ice fishing, because otherwise you're just going to sit at your house and do nothing for 4 months.
Yeah, I'm more of a crisp lager type of guy. You're like, if it doesn't leave a rim around the glass after you take a sip, not your style.
Yeah, I love dark beer. I really do love dark beer. It's my favorite time of year right now. There's dark beers everywhere.
Anything else before we wrap things up here?
No, I don't got much. I haven't talked to you in a ton. How's the first month of married life? I was just
talking. It's the same as it's not. I mean, it's obviously awesome, but it's the same as before because she's still running down in Fort Worth, and I'm still doing the stuff up here. So like, I was just down there the last 2 days, and she's coming up here tonight. Then we're doing the Thanksgiving thing, so we're still switching back and forth for the next month and a half.
Yeah.
And then she'll be here. She's not doing hair, so then she'll be flying for 3 to 4 days a week, and then you'll see a drastic improvement in social media presence, mailing prize packages, thumbnails, show information, and just
basically
all around
anything that includes pre-preparation or planning.
Listen, I will by the time this is all done, I'll do over 250 BTLs and live shows in 2025.
That's impressive.
It is. So if I can get we'll have a TikTok. We have a TikTok that's coming.
Look at you.
We have a Facebook page that we're going to bring back from the dead.
I mean, you and I have been talking about this for years. I'm like, you got to get this stuff rolling, dude. You're like, I know, but I mean, one guy can only do so much stuff. I know how it is with doing the Chronicles and the Champions Tour and all the media stuff. You eventually need to hire someone or bring someone else in. So having Courtney wanting to be a part of that's super cool. First month of marriage for you is good.
Will you ever wear the bolo tie again?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's some event. Alyssa won't like it. That's the only thing.
See, I thought you look good.
That's what I thought too, but she does hate whenever we are somewhere now and people see the pictures from there and they're like, Adam, you look good in that bolo tie. It's like nails on a chalkboard to her. She hates that.
What didn't she like about the Western look? The bolo tie.
She loved everything else. She just didn't like the bolo tie. She thinks she's just not a bolo tie person.
See, I thought it was timeless class.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was the only opportunity I had in my life to wear a bolo tie. So it was like,
I promise you walk into a bar in Minnesota in a bolo tie in January, and there's a very low chance that you're paying for a drink.
I don't know about that, man. I think we have different situations up here.
You don't think guys will be like, I want to buy that guy a drink. He's out drinking in a bolo tie.
I think I would have to get down to like Kansas, Nebraska.
But then they get kind of common.
Yeah, but once you get up here, everybody thinks you're a poser if you're wearing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the battle, but it will probably end up coming out for a country wedding or something at some point.
Is there any way we could see the bolo tie make an appearance on the Crappie Chronicles this season?
There actually is an opportunity for that.
You should have the bolo tie. The guy who catches the biggest one in the previous day has to wear the bolo tie on the ice the next day.
That would be very funny. There is a chance that the bolo tie will come out in the Chronicles this year. Yes,
I love it. Are you doing Black Friday stuff with the merch? I know your merch game is on point.
Yeah, we'll have a bunch of limited editions. Oh, this sweatshirt actually is new. That'll be up on the website too. Bunch of merch will be going on sale. That's kind of Black Friday for us is always when we unveil our new 2026 designs or limited edition stuff, whatever it is. So there will be sales. There will be new stuff coming. Yeah, you name it. Oh, also Ice Fishing Saves Lives t-shirts. So want to support awesome. St. Jude, those will be there. And yeah, that's where you can buy your ticket for the St. Jude fundraiser and have that. We've been selling them slow and steady. I think we're going to sell a pile of them next week, to be honest, because
at the ice show.
Well, just leading up to it, because kind of the thing with those shows is a lot of people don't know they're going to the show until like the week of. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go. So then they end up buying tickets and other stuff. So,
dude, that's a savage. That's a savage one right there with the that's a Humminbird Mega Live image that you put on a sweatshirt.
Yeah, ML2. Humminbird Mega Live 2 is very good. I've talked to you about it before. I've ran a Garmin previously, so anyone looking into it, there's Humminbird they're doing some Black Friday sales right now too. They actually have some very good sales. So if you're looking into getting into forward, I think Mega Live 2 just does about everything you could ask of it to do with a Garmin or Lowrance as well. And low key, I think their landscape mode is a little bit better than everybody else's, and I thoroughly enjoy that. But yeah, they're having sales. There's great electronic sales for everybody out there right now. So if people are looking to step into some of this newer stuff going on, definitely do it. There's nothing wrong with. We just recorded a podcast last night with. Do you know who Tom Boley is, Hanger?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so Tom Boley's like the dude for walleye fishing YouTube. Okay. He is the guy. He is very dialed. He's a good friend of ours, but something he talks about in his videos and we talked about last night is he does a lot of educational videos for people how to catch walleyes, whether it's throwing a split bobber with a leech or sharpshooting basin fish out in 80 feet of water. And kind of what he says that, I agree with is like, oh no, we're catching more fish. Is that the worst thing in the world? Someone can catch more fish or have a better time on the water. So I will always agree with that. Utilize the tools you have and take what you want from fishing, because ultimately it's about having fun and your own experience.
Yeah, I'll say in the early stages of CTL, Crappie Talk Live, which is obviously all open water.
I got to listen to some of those episodes. I'm excited. I haven't gotten to it yet.
We've captured probably 80 to 100 crappie over that 12-inch range, and we've harvested absolutely zero. So
yeah, exactly. Dude.
I mean, like, those fish are happy and swimming around, and we had a great time. And
They had a great time
reproducing and blessing the ponds and lakes and rivers and streams with their genetics. So
absolutely, it just comes down to selective harvest and stuff. There was I should send this to you. I'll find it, but there was a study that came out with the Minnesota DNR. Then we can move on. But I think
I saw some about this. It was one of the lakes that we had fished.
No. So this is about forward-facing sonar usage and stuff, because obviously there's a crowd out there that's like the lakes are going to get fished out, blah, blah, blah. It's all that stuff that has no backing whatsoever. It's all propaganda. But there's a study that the DNR did.
One guy with a crowd, but anyway.
Yeah, exactly. A cult. But they did a study actually in Minnesota. It's very interesting about forward-facing sonar usage on lakes and like how it's affecting the fish populations and everything. And what they came to find is it's like, I think it was over 80, it might have been 90% of fish or people that actively use forward-facing sonar up north practice more catch and release and selective harvest than anyone, and actually take out less fish from lakes because of it. So like the whole statement of like, oh, they're damaging the lakes, they're pulling everything out. Most people who are utilizing it and doing that are actually the people protecting the resource the most. And there is studies behind this starting to come out now. And I think that's great to see. We're learning more about
fish. Facts get in the way of your narrative there.
Yeah, exactly. We're learning more about fish than we ever have before. We're learning more about fish behavior. Hell, like, dude, it has changed the walleye world. We forever thought that walleye just lived a foot off the bottom off of main lake rock piles and rock reefs. Come 3 or 4 years ago, man, the whole walleye industry is kind of not completely changed, but like there's a 70% of the fish population that just got opened up to people that they never even knew existed. So now people can go from catching 3 to 5 walleyes a day to actually catching a limit or catching 20 of them. Like, that's never been a thing really before. Walleye fishing's been really hard. So it's a lot of ways to go have fun and catch more fish. And it's very different, the views on it, based on being up north and a part of the ice fishing and walleye market compared to being in the south. I think it's very interesting to watch. But yeah, man, it's good times. A lot of good stuff coming out. I'm excited for CTL. Hopefully at some point we'll have the Chronicles boys on, and we'll do a little ice fishing or whatever chat with you about crappies.
Yeah, for sure. Pass the Barb comes out every week. Is there a specific day that drops?
So, yeah, I mean, it's typically every other Wednesday. We kind of got a little log jammed at the beginning of November with hunting season opening, so we've dropped 2 recently. Had one with good buddy Brent Lopez, and then if people watch YouTube, we had Clayton Schick on. He's a huge YouTuber up in Canada. He's one of the Canadian boys that I swear to God, every time he hits the ice, he catches either a 40-inch pike, a 30-inch, or it would be like a 35 to 40-inch lake trout or a 30-inch walleye. The dude's insane. And it's fun stuff to watch. So we had Clayton on previewing the ice season. And then next week, we'll have an episode with Tom Boley coming out, kind of talking about the whole evolution of him going from a guide to being a full-time YouTuber, doing seminars across the country. And he has a Walleye Now app that's rolling and everything walleye fishing. Like I said, he's literally like the dude for walleye fishing too.
More like is Jay Seaman still like?
Oh yeah, I mean Jay's massive. Jay will be at the St. Paul Ice Show actually. If you want to meet him, I can.
Hell yeah, I want to meet him.
Yeah, Jay's a great friend of mine. Dude, he's the whole reason I filmed
all of his stuff.
Outdoors. Yeah, I can introduce you to Jay. He'll be there.
You watch one of his videos and you're like, dude, how do you fish and look like you're enjoying it? Like he's running like 8 different cameras by himself when they're out there. It is the most insane thing. Like, and I just have like a little bit of an understanding of what he's doing, but between what he's running, what he's got other people running, his camera guys, the ice stuff, the inside, and then to put a storyline together, to have audio, like what he's doing is literally like insanely impressive. Like the skill, like, and I've seen what it takes to do the Crappie Chronicles, with 4 guys like that, but like Jay Siemens is the GOAT.
Yeah, Jay is incredible. He's kind of how I got into the whole high level, like cinematic storytelling, film style. all that. But he's almost up to 300,000 subs now. But it's unique because it's all multi-species Canada, crazy adventures, crazy fishing experiences. Jay does an incredible job, and a lot of those Canadian or kind of up in the northern Midwest content creators, I think, kind of push the envelope and do a lot of cool things. I think it's also because we have seasons change. I think that's very helpful. So you're always like kind of recharged up for the next season, and you have new ideas. But yeah, Jay will be there too. I can introduce you to Jay and Tom. They'll both be there.
Like this one that he did, the Alaska one.
Oh, the Alaskan, film. It's crazy.
I mean, that looks like he just like went to like Hollywood and told someone like, "Hey, we need to hire like a film crew."
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Jay would get hired to shoot Hollywood. Like, that's how talented he is. He's incredibly talented videographer and cinematographer, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But he is remarkably good at his job, and he does a very good job of promoting fishing and all that. Like we were talking about before, that's kind of my thing with YouTube. I just want to go catch really cool fish, show people catching really cool fish, and enjoy doing it, because a lot of my best memories come from crazy fishing adventures, just like most people's do.
I mean, this would take like a month just to put the first 30 seconds together.
Yeah. Well, and he's got a full, I mean, because he had a whole media team before he had Thrive Visuals, and then he shot weddings too. So he kind of had an intern and maybe another employee. I believe now, I mean, he's got like a team, like he might have 2 to 4 people, depending on the time of year or depending on the interns he has, help him produce all that stuff. And obviously, Jay himself is enormously talented at it as well.
Like most of the stuff that they're using and promoting and talking about, like he owns that. He's got a piece in that too, right?
Some of it. Like he owns Catch and Cook with Josh McFadden. That's who he'll be. He will be at the St. Paul Ice Show with Josh. They'll have a booth there. So if you want to meet Jay and Josh, they'll be there. But yeah, Jay first started by filming, if people know Uncut Angling. He's kind of one of the OG fishing shows on YouTube, in my opinion. So Jay was Aaron's videographer, and then Jay started kind of going and doing his own thing, which kind of naturally progresses.
That's interesting, because didn't Sobe shoot for Sobe shot for Guggen for a little bit, right?
Sobe shot for Perrick, and Guggen, but he got hired. He was a senior in college heading into his 5th year. He was halfway through his last semester of college.
Sobe made it through 4 years of college?
Yeah, well, he had to go to a 5th year. He had to go to a fall semester of his 5th year, and he was halfway through it when Perrick called him because he needed a camera guy, and Sobe dropped out from his last semester of college to go film with Alex, and that was when all the Guggens got a house in Texas together. So Sobe moved into that house at kind of the time all that blew up. So Sobe was a part of all that. He was in Mexico when they came up with Guggen baits with everything, and did that whole deal. So he filmed there for a long time and then went and did his own thing. I mean, Perrick also had, if you know Mav from YouTube, Mav worked for Alex as well. And Mav is now like one of the biggest camping outdoor YouTubers in the world. Like, I think he's.
Who does he collab? He collabs a lot. Does he collab a lot with Fishing More?
Yeah, he collabs with Fishing More. And Murray was also hired by Alex.
Will Murray be at the St. Paul Ice Show?
Maybe. He normally swings by for a day or two. I could text him and figure it out. I know you love Fishing More.
I love all the ice fishing stuff and like that whole northern YouTube scene, just because it's so different.
Yeah. Well, you never know what you're going to watch every day you watch a fishing video.
The only thing I don't like is when you're catching big bluegills or eater walleyes and you're, quote, not harvesting today.
Yeah, because, well, you guys don't really have that same experience. Like, we're just like, I don't know, dude. Like, I caught a bunch of walleyes. I'm good. I don't need to keep any more of them.
Yeah.
It's also like, for example, last night's episode when you were texting me, like, how on earth are you releasing all these trout and walleyes? And I was like, dude, I don't know. We kept like a dozen of them the day before. It's a lot of meat. I don't really need any.
What did I say? I said, just an FYI, there's no such thing as having, quote, plenty of walleye. The fact that you're releasing these fish is disgusting. The only thing I want to hear Waldo say is we haven't caught any today because we kept them all yesterday. Such a wasted opportunity. I'm throwing beer bottles at my TV.
Yeah, no, I was laughing very hard at that. Dude, that was
I mean, I get it. Like I said, I do. And widely also because of you, but also because of Zeke and the crappie stuff around here. Like when you have that ability, it used to be, I think that's one of the things forward facing also is done. You keep less fish because you do catch more fish and you can go catch more fish. So it's not like, my God, I found a brush pile where they are. Then you just go out, you just like waylay it until there's not a crappie to be seen because you don't know when you're going to get that opportunity. You can be way more choosy.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, dude. You can keep way less fish because, you can just go out and kind of get them what you want. And selective harvest, I mean, we've talked about it in the Chronicles forever. I'm kind of excited to see the evolution with what you're doing with CTL and some of the other crappie guys are doing with talking about how important that is because, I mean, no matter where you are in the country, you can devastate a crappie population with forward-facing sonar if you want to. But one of my favorite quotes of all time is, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
But that's in life.
Yeah, and that's in life. So just teaching people how to selectively harvest fish. It is so important to keep big fish genetics in lakes. And just take from the 10 to 12 inch class. The fillets are perfect. They're perfect size. They cook up the best as well. So it is. I don't know. It's been awesome. Good chat. And I'm excited for all the future. I'm excited for the St. Paul Ice Show. I am very excited to see you walk around the St. Paul Ice Show. You are going to. I can't wait for all the things you find that you take pictures of and come to me and are like, dude, look at this thing.
Well, I'm probably going to come back with a lot of weird jigs that I think will work down in Oklahoma.
Maybe they're going to be so small, dude. Like a lot of the ice fishing jigs are so small.
What about so we just caught them on a 1/24th ounce hair jig.
You will find jigs that you could tie hair on because, you will find jigs down to 164th.
What about 1/16th to 1/32nd?
Yeah. There's a pile of those.
Okay, we're
good. They say 4 and 5 millimeter. They don't use ounces as much up there. It's more of grams.
Yeah. The other thing I've never figured out is why a fish would eat a pinhead. That is the weirdest, most unfishy looking bait I've ever seen. But a pinhead is like the Cinco of the ice fishing world, in my opinion.
Yeah, just kind of like a pounding spoon. I think it's the reaction and it's it's the flap, but I think it's just a reaction. I think it's all about your cadence. I mean, that's what I think ice fishing's taught me more than any open water fishing, really. Obviously, everyone talks about when you're growing up flipping a jig into a bush, you're taught think of what that jig is doing and how you're moving it and everything.
That's a pinhead, right?
Yeah, when you're ice fishing, that's a pinhead. Yep. When you're ice fishing, your jigging cadence is everything because that's all you got. I don't get a cast anywhere else. I got the hole right below me. So tricking them how to bite, you learn. You can get a lot of fish to bite if you have the right jigging cadence for that day, and it changes all the time.
There you go, Adam Bartusek. Check out CrappieChronicles.com. Get your ticket there for the Crappie Chronicles and St. Jude fundraiser on December 6th during the St. Paul Ice Show. Thanks, Bart.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, for those you don't know, another cat guy on the show. I never thought I'd have multiple cat guys. Bart's a cat guy, just like Frank Scalish is a cat guy, and Mark Jeffries is a cat guy.
Yeah, there's a cat literally on my lap right now.
Can we see the cat?
Yeah, she's gonna yell at me. Unfortunately,
no, that's fine. That's fine. We like pets.
You gotta say hi to the Bass Talk Live.
Whole time there was a cat on your lap for the whole interview.
She jumped up halfway through it, and I was like, "Do not disrupt this. I'm in the middle of an interview right now. But yeah, she jumped up on my lap and just passed out. I'm sweating like I'm sweating bullets right now because legs got so hot from that cat sitting on my lap. But
I'm glad I mentioned that.
Yeah, no, Alyssa's made me into. I wouldn't necessarily am a cat person. I like pets, whether they're dogs or cats. I don't care. They all have their own personalities. So,
all right, see you.
All right, see you, buddy. Thanks for having me.
All right, I want to only Adam Bartusek, 2 hour, an hour and 45 minute BTL show. We're gonna wrap things up. Also recording later today with Justin Lucas and Russ Lane. Looking forward to those. Those will be out as a replay on Wednesday and on Friday. Until then, it's another episode of BTL. We'll talk to everyone later. See ya.